To find the difference between two numbers, we have two numbers and we're simply going to subtract. And it's the first number minus the second number. Okay, so what we're going to do is, just like in adding, we have to line up the decimals, and our decimal is right here. And we're going to line the decimals. I'm going to write these numbers in the columns. So I've got 8 tenths, 8 hundredths, and 4 ones, 5 tens, and 2 hundreds. And we're going to subtract from that 53.67. And of course, my decimal is right there in that number. Okay, so now we begin subtracting. So we look at the top number, 8, and subtract from it 7, and 8 minus 7 is 1. And we work our way to the left. 8 minus 6 is 2, and we bring our decimal down. Let's bring the decimal straight down, lining the decimals up. 4 minus 3 is 1. 5 minus 5 is 0. And 2 minus, well, there's nothing there. But in fact there is. There's a 0 in the hundreds place in that number. So 2 minus 0 is 2. So there's our answer. 254.88 minus 53.67 is, in fact, 201.21. Okay, in this example, we're asked again to find the difference, which simply means we're going to subtract 254.5 minus 53.67. So again, just like in addition, I have to line up my decimals. So I've got 254.5, and subtracting from that 53.67, decimal 67. Okay, so in this right here, in the hundredths place, we have to subtract 7 from something, but there's nothing there. So what we do is we put a 0 there, because in fact it is there, we just didn't write it. Now we have to subtract 0 minus 7, and we cannot do that. So if we go over here to the left and borrow 1, we're going to make that a 4, because we borrowed 1, so we bring that 1 over to the hundredths place, and now that is 10 hundredths. Now 10 hundredths minus 7 hundredths is 3 hundredths. Then we move to the left over the tenths. Now 4 tenths minus 6 tenths. Well, 4 minus 6, we can't do that. So again, we come over here to the left and we borrow, and we make that 4 a 3, and we borrow that 1 and put it over here with this 4. Now that is 14. And 14 minus 6, we can do that. Hey, that is 8. Okay, now bring my decimal straight down, because again, I got to keep my decimals lined up, keeping my digits in the right column. And we proceed. And 3 ones minus 3 ones is 0 ones. And 5 minus 5 is 0 tens. And then 2 minus, well, hold up, now there's nothing there. But remember, I can put a 0 there, because there are no hundredths, and 2 minus 0 is 2. So our final answer is 200.83. Okay, this is going to be a little bit trickier. Again, we're going to find the difference, which, like we've said previously, that simply means subtract 31 minus 0.89. Now, this is what gets several students from time to time. And they look at that 31 and they say, well, there is no decimal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is always a decimal and a number, whether I write it or not. This is 31, 3 tens, 1 1, and my decimal is right there, and I have no tenths and no hundredths. Now, I need to take that out the same distance from that decimal as this digit, or this number right here, has. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 31 and subtract from it 0.89. Again, line up the decimals. Like things have to be added to like things, and as well as subtracted. Now, here we go. We're going to have to do some borrowing here. 0 minus 9. I can't do that. So I have to borrow. Well, I look over here to the left, and there's nothing to borrow from. So I just keep going to the left and borrow 1 from this. So that 1 turns into a 0, and that 1 that I just borrowed comes over here to that digit in the tenths place. So now I have 10 tenths. Now I have something to borrow from. Well, if I have 10 tenths, now I can borrow and make that 9 tenths and take that 1 I just borrowed and put it right here with the hundredths. Now I have 10 hundredths. Well, 10 hundredths minus 9 hundredths is 1 hundredth. And now proceed to the left. 9 tenths minus 8 tenths is 1 tenth. Bring down my decimal. And 0 minus 0 is 0. And 3 minus 0 is 3. So there's my answer. 31 minus 0.89 is 30.11.